Hello, and thank you for joining us for another episode of CyberMasters. It's pretty exciting that we've gone like 30 shows or so. So thank you for joining. This is the show where we take complicated technology matters and we simplify it. You may have heard a little bit about this stuff, but you're looking for more information. We're the show that can get it to you. We have experts that come and talk about their fields. We talk about technology news, cybersecurity updates, what's happening in the world. I've spent the last 30 years in the field, and I'm happy to share what I've learned, bring my friends and colleagues and other experts to define what's going on in the industry. Technology has come on so fast, it's gone beyond what some people are capable of handling, and that's what we're talking about tonight. A very vulnerable group, senior citizens that have become a big group getting attacked by scammers, phone scammers, internet scammers, people who steal identities. It goes on, as you can imagine. It's become quite a situation. In last year, they're saying that $4.1 billion was stolen from these groups. You'll see some information that I'm going to share tonight. They're saying that people 65 years or older are 90% of the ones that get caught up in these phone scams. Now, I have a couple of interesting stories I'm going to start with, but tonight is all about these phone scammers and the scam baiters. What is a scam baiter? Someone or a group of individuals who are highly technical, and they've taken it into their own hands to try to defeat these scammers. What have they done? All kinds of interesting things that have actually been productive and have worked. I call them the front line of cybersecurity because at this point, I don't see anybody as effective in fighting these groups as I do these scam baiters. In India, they're saying that a lot of these calls come from these data centers. I've been following it for a couple of years now. It's a growing problem. They're saying in parts of India, which I'll describe in a couple of links that I've shared down below. You can look at the links that will follow about how some of these zones have become real hotbeds for stealing, for cybersecurity. A lot of people have the imagination that these cybersecurity hackers are wealthy individuals, well off. Well, the fact is in some of these areas around the country where they are hacking, a small win could mean a massive prize. So they take it quite seriously, right? And it's a growing problem. And who are the victims? Certainly the elderly, certainly people in the United States. And that's why I say that technology has come on so fast. Some of these folks don't even know how to use this stuff. They get a phone call. They really think it's Microsoft. They really think it's PayPal or whoever the scammer pretends to be. And they go right along with it, to the tune of $4 billion last year. So pretty wacky stuff. Please comment on the show. I'd love to interact with you guys. If you take a look, I've posted a couple of links already in terms of what I'm going to be talking about. So scam baiting is a really entertaining way these individuals have figured out how to attack or fight back. So these brazen criminals in these data centers are calling by the hundreds every day, trying to take advantage, even 1, 5, 10 people. They make thousands, sometimes millions of dollars in some of these cases. So these scam baiters are technical people who've now pretended to be vulnerable victims, and they take it to a whole nother level. Now, they, in some cases, make them sing to them and do all this kind of crazy, entertaining stuff to keep the scammer on the phone and waste their time, if you will. What is that all about? So there's a psychology that if you're wasting the hacker's time, you're saving someone, because they could be spending 5-10 minutes on the phone of their shift getting somebody who doesn't understand the game that's going on and is truly vulnerable. I fear for the older population, whether they are of medium wealth, low wealth, or even high wealth of a story I'm going to tell that are completely vulnerable to this. Let me start with an interesting story. Just a couple of months back, we were referred to a physician out of state who had gone through a ransomware situation, we were told. So I immediately called the physician referred by their financial advisor, and I spoke with them, and I asked them what happened. So a number of days back, he had done some transactions on Amazon, had used PayPal, and wasn't very keen on security in his personal home. So he had received a phone call for somebody pretending to be PayPal, and he went right along with it, thinking it was based on the transaction he had just performed a number of days before. So what happens? The hacker works with him. The primary goal is for them to confuse the user. He confused them to the point where he allowed the PayPal person onto his desktop. After that, he asked him to open his bank account so he can reverse a transaction. Well, this quite wealthy individual ended up trusting this person, let them onto their desktop. Believe it or not, that hacker, over a number of days, in gaining the trust of this doctor, cleaned him out in the tune of several hundreds of thousands of dollars. Well, you can imagine the shock that took place. And secondly, you can imagine the cleanup that's required to get that straightened out. We called a certified cybersecurity professional who came right in, did massive scans, worked with him, get his computer perfectly back online, produced necessary evidence for the client to be able to work with the banks, work with the attorneys, do what's necessary to get through the problem. But what a lesson to learn. It's quite scary. This is happening to all factions of people. It's almost like American wealth is stolen from us, from these hackers, and there's almost no holds barred. Well, let's take a look at some of this information and where this has gone, guys. All right, can you see what's going on here? Calcutta is India's newest, biggest scam zone. Police, YouTubers, mice can't shut it down. What does this all mean, right? So Calcutta, a area in India over there, has become the most sophisticated scamming process that is become quite profitable for them in many different ways. Take a look at this article. It's from a group called The Print, and they've gone through a description of how this has taken place here. Quite an interesting story how Calcutta has taken the reins in becoming the lead here. Let's take a look here. If you live in an English-speaking country, it's highly likely that you've interacted with a scam caller from India, says Browning, a YouTuber with nearly 4 million followers. I hate scammers, he said. Now, he's an individual who has been a programmer in the past and has discovered what's happening in these data centers by reversing the remote connection that these hackers are attempting on him. So he's pretending to be a victim. He's using his technical knowledge to reverse the connection and, in fact, jump in and sees what they're doing to him, and has created some incredible videos and obviously a very large following in doing so. So the modus operandi is the following of what's going on over there. First, they pretend to be selling your product from Microsoft, Amazon, Norton malware software, or any kind of legitimate interaction you may have been working with recently. If you recognize the name that's coming through, you can't trust it right away. So first, the hackers, the India data center social media engineers, pretend they're selling you a product from these major brands. They then convince you to click on a link And they kind of make it really confusing there. They click on the link, it's not so clear what's going on, and they kind of confuse the victim to start clicking on the link and allow the remote access through. So these users end up clicking on these links, and it establishes a remote connection. Then, thirdly, the hacker accesses the computer and controls their screen through this remote access software like TeamViewer or AnyDesk, and literally convinces you, in some cases, to open your bank account and go in there and forward themselves the money. This is a scam that's definitely working, and it's a little scary that it's so precise and it's so popular. Calcutta is 10 years ahead of Jamtra, who was originally the place where all these data centers started. But as the technology advanced and they became more sophisticated, this region in Calcutta became the primary region where this happens. Now, some of these scam baiters have discovered that, in fact, what's happening is that there's legitimate businesses, and right behind there in the same floor, the next floor down, is this illegitimate business that's doing this hacking, literally within the same building, within the same region. I've even seen videos, which you'll see later, where the same employees that are working for a legitimate company are at night working for the illegitimate company, where they're literally stealing things. Now, let me say something else. I've discovered that in some cases, these scammers aren't aware they're scamming until a couple of days into working there. They're actually being told they're doing legitimate work, and then eventually realize that, wait a minute, I'm doing illegal, terrible stuff here, right? So there's an investigator by Prakash who are banging their heads because over there, what's going on? There's no clear money trail. It's happening all over the world. There's flimsy data privacy laws in India and certainly globally all around. And the police are at a disadvantage. But somehow these YouTubers has found this opening of attacking these guys and exposing them for what's going on. YouTubers like Jim Robinson, Scam Baiter, Mark Rauber, Trilogy Media, and these are scam baiters we're going to be showing you some videos of in a little bit. In my opinion, they've done more than the police have, or many people really have, to overcome and expose these bad guys for what they are. Pretty incredible stuff. Over 95% of global scam calls originate from India. All right, so that's quite interesting. People have this idea that it's happening from other regions, from all over the place. Now, I'm aware of certain scams that take place out of Jamaica, out of Kingston, and other regions. But certainly the discovery made by our scam baiter leaders here say that they are coming out of India, and certainly 95% of them, especially in and around Kolkata and New Delhi, according to his database of IP addresses. So IP addresses are locations where there's routers, there's machines coming from. These scam baiters have followed this and are locating that all in the same regions. So it's not like this is some kind of conspiracy theory where we may have seen a UFO. These are IP addresses that point directly to these physical locations. And Jim Browning, who's an expert who has led the way here, has had camera viewings, videotaping, and other proof that this is them. Right? This is these guys over here. Let's go on here a little bit. Calcutta's unholy call center problem. Exactly 4 days after Praveen Prakash took over as Calcutta City's new Deputy Commissioner of Police for Cybercrime, a video was uploaded to YouTube in which glitter bombs, mice, and cockroaches were released by scam baiter teams across 3 call centers in Sector 5 of Calcutta's Salt Lake. What's going on here? The scam baiters have matured to a point where they have made these, they called them glitter bombs originally. So they send a package, which the scammer believes is money or checks or something like that, or cash in some cases. And they open it up, and it's a glitter bomb, and they explode in the hacker's face. They've advanced these glitter bombs to include mice, roaches, and all kinds of extremely crazy things to aggravate and torture the scammers. So scam baiting is about getting back at the scammers. They've been quite effective in that it's irritating the heck out of these people. In some cases, they're closing up shop. They're not hacking. And certainly we're buying time. Every time we take down one of these call centers, expose them, in some cases they get arrested. In many cases they shut down, have to reoperate, slowing them down, going after these senior citizens. These scam baiters, and again, I'll show you a lot of these examples in a few minutes, literally get the victim on the phone while they're being scammed and say, look, the person you're dealing with is not legitimate. You need to hang up the phone, turn off your computer, and stop now. But even at the small groups that are doing that, it's far and few between that you can get to. While he's pretending to be a scammer and calling the victim, there's hundreds going on in the background by others. So it's not enough of this is going on, all right? So the video of the glitter bomb with the mice and roaches, the video was a collaborative effort involving a group of YouTube watchdogs, Mark Rober, who makes these glitter bombs, Jim Browning, who perceivably is the leader of discovering the scam baiting process, and Trilogy Media, who I perceive are the funniest guys in the industry doing some really wacky stuff. I got into scam bait watching because of Trilogy Media. These guys really blew me away. Imagine, with over 40 million views, it immediately caught the attention of everyone from police to workers in and around the call centers. So before that, it was Wild Wild West. They were letting it happen. Everybody was just letting it slide. It was just happening regularly. The 40 million views on YouTube exposed this terrible thing that was going on, right? The call center in Eurospace campus, Met Technologies, was raided and shut down by Calcutta's police after YouTubers tipped off just this May. The police complaint describes that the call center had unholy business that cheats innocent people of India and abroad. 15 people were arrested. 15 people. I wish it was in the hundreds. But hundreds of other call centers operate covertly in Sector 5, hiding in plain sight within tech parks like Eurospace and multi-story office buildings in the region. Sometimes they even operate within legitimate call centers, using them as a front. You go into the front, it's legitimate. Literally in the back are the bad guys doing the bad stuff here, right? What a terrible way of surviving. In the first 6 months of 2020, Calcutta police raided 15 call centers and arrested over 80 people in that time. Still not enough, but at least action is taking place. So certainly thank you, scam baiters, for tipping everybody off and making it so damn entertaining. All right, and you'll see some of that. Hook, line, and sinker. Interesting part of this article here. So Jharkhand, Jamatra, known as the fishing capital of India, is responsible for domestic cons. The allegations against the call center in Calcutta of running international scams worth of millions of dollars. The difference between the two hinges on English accent. The typical scam call center employee in Calcutta is educated, speaks English clearly, can understand the nuances, and may not have entered the field willingly. But easily quick money graduates, saying Messi, named in this article, one of the former scammers who helped orchestrate the YouTube prank as part of Trilogy Media's team. A graduate with bachelor's degree in business administration, the 24-year-old was hired in 2020 for what he thought was a regular sales job at a center in India called an Amazon, selling Amazon subscriptions. It took him over 2 weeks to realize he was actually scamming people. Oh boy. So here's a guy with a degree who ended up turning himself in and started working with our friends at Trilogy Media and enabling even funnier videos. Congratulations. That's a huge thing that we have somebody from the inside. Many don't realize it as an ethical problem, says Pritam Roy, who used to make scam calls. The assumption is that all white people they are scamming are rich and that the government is taking care of them, say Roy. But karma is a bitch. Someone he knew got caught by the police in Calcutta. Shocked by his deception, his family cast out, and his mother allegedly took her own life over it. So, very interesting here. Take a look at that. The assumption is that all white people are scamming, that we are scamming are rich, and the government is taking care of them anyway. So, that's their justification of proceeding with these scams. Little scary there that they have this impression that we have money bleeding out of our earlobes. 90% of them are at least 65 or above. Very interesting information there. I think that's the key take there. If you take a look at that 90% are at least 65 or above. Why is that going on? Technology is coming on faster than a tidal wave. Even as senior technologists, we have trouble hanging on to this huge rocket that's flying through space in front of us. It's so hard to keep track of it, even as a professional. Now imagine that senior citizen getting that call. They just learned how to use Amazon and pay with PayPal, and they're getting one of these calls. Well, it's working right against them. Who's telling them not to do this? It has to be all of us. It has to be a group effort for everyone who understands this to be not a scam baiter necessarily, but inform anyone you know who's a senior, 65, maybe even younger, that the world is filled with these scammers trying to get us. And once they get it, tell them about scam baiters, because they'll have a lot of fun watching that compared to even regular TV. It's quite funny, actually. Take a look at this incredible statistic. Scammers also make sure to call during American working weekdays so they know that the people who pick up are at home, most likely retired. The large call centers make around $60,000 a day, $18 million a year. This is working. Who does that senior have to call? In a lot of cases, people don't even know who to call. The only technical person they know is the very scammer that's calling them. You got to be there for these people. Make yourself available for senior citizens and teach them, make them aware. Do not let them open these gift cards. Seniors show up at CVS and gift card locations on a regular basis. Thankfully, at CVS, the register people are aware to say, hey, wait a minute, why are you buying 18 gift cards? And the person says, well, I owe Amazon $2,000 because I made a mistake. BS, the guy scammed you out of it. So keep in mind what's happening. They're pretending they're from Amazon, and they owe you money back. In order to give you the money back, you need to log into your financial system so they can make the refund happen. That simple trick is working by $18 million a year per data center over there, okay? So this is not a joke. The YouTube watchdogs. I love this, guys. This is awesome. While police investigators, hampered by jurisdictional limitations and red tape, ran around in circles, YouTube watchdogs decided to take action. Every Sunday morning for about a year, Robert Browning and the team from Trilogy Media met to plan their sting operation. Experts who decided to team up and go against these bad guys and expose them for everything that they have. Of the 4 call centers the scam baiters brought to light, One was raided and shut down. The other two have ceased operations. Details in the fourth call center were deliberately withheld by the YouTubers. I think there's a bigger story going on with that bigger data center. But these are 4 of potentially hundreds, maybe even more, right? But you got to remember something. Scam baiters can only go so far. It is up to law enforcement to pick up where they left off, and the baiters don't always trust them. The police aren't helpful, said Messi, who tried to report his experience to the police. They may be corrupt. I don't always take action, and the call center bosses aren't scared because they have money. You can do anything with money, such as pay off who you need to be able to continue operating there. Pretty scary there. There's not necessarily a way out, and it's a problem that is happening at this very moment. Thousands of senior citizens are being called as we speak. These data center guys are pretending to be from these big companies, and by the thousands are just taking money from these old folks. What are you going to do to prevent the next senior citizen from this happening to, right? This is a perfect storm of a crime that they get away with, even if police can have the evidence on a platter, says Ashton from Trilogy Media, one of the funniest men that I've... all right, now I'm not, I've seen his videos. He's pretty silly, but very, very funny. And depending if you like slapstick humor, you'll enjoy that too. Stopping the scams. The main difficulty for law enforcement is that they can't establish a money trail. People use account vendors in countries like Spain and Portugal to divert attention from India and Pakistan, where most scams originate from. So it's being made untraceable with other money operations. It's becoming very hard to trace with where it's coming from. Sharma told the print that he's currently representing at least 1,000 people. All right, let's talk about the Sharma person, who's an attorney who's now representing some of these people who are coming to the table from these scam centers. Sharma told the print that he's currently representing at least 1,000 people accused of making scam calls, and has bailed them out, at least half of them. He's more sympathetic, unlike the DCP, Praveen Prakash, who's the cyber police, and the YouTube vigilance. They're just victims of circumstance. Most of these clients are in their 20s and 30s. He estimates that the gender ratio is 1 woman to every 9 men. Can you believe this? They're victims of circumstance? No, we're victims of circumstance. What's this guy talking about over here? That's that really gets to me. I don't really like the way that sounded, but that's where that's going. Anyway, international authorities got involved in 2017. Kolkata police arrested 5 people after the German police notified them of a phishing scam. A German prosecutor flew to India to argue the case, and the accused were sentenced to 9 months in prison. It's the longest sentence for a scam caller yet, according to Sharma. 9 months in prison for stealing millions or hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't know, guys. I don't know. That doesn't sound very happy. You have to be careful and take care of yourself, all right? So it's happening pretty actively. I would say that in my business, we hear about it every day. We have a major case every 2 weeks. Some of these people have heavy-duty cybersecurity things in place, but they still, even with heavy cybersecurity tools in place, they still decide to open the back door. Interesting story. We had a client we dealt with, locked them down to the fullest. Everything was perfectly locked down. It seemed that a scammer bought a domain name very close to the person they were attempting to scam. They literally put an I in there. You couldn't even see it, right? So they started to pretend that they're owner. They bought this fake domain name, pretending to be the owner, and started interacting with the secretary who bought in that this other email address was really the owner. So after a couple of days, he said, oh, by the way, Janet, please put this $30,000 in the Wells Fargo account. Mike happened to walk by, and she says, hey, how's it going? And she says, hey, I took care of that Wells Fargo situation. He says, what are you talking about? He says, I got your email. He says, that wasn't me. They caught it just in time. Were able to get their money back in that case. But look at the professional behavior that took place over there. Under lock and key behind Fortress, the active scammer was allowed in by sending an email from a legitimate email address, right? That email address was just created. That domain existed 48 hours and was not pegged as a bad domain just yet. So it went through the firewall, and they received the email, and voila, they started interacting with them. One of the things we do with all our clients and the fail-safe we put in is that every financial transaction requires some kind of additional item like a text or a phone call or a second kind of mark in the database, if you will. So things are being done about that, right? Let's go on and learn about these guys and make this a little bit more of a fun show here. Take a look at these guys. Here is the list of our popular scam baiters. Now, there's more than these. I'm pushing out this list. You can take a picture of it. I'll include this in the links below later. Although these are the guys who are making a name for themselves, who have large factions of viewers. It's quite fun and informative to watch. If you take a look at that, Jim Browning, number 2 on the left, would you be open to say he's the godfather of scam baiting, who got a lot of this going? Kit Boga show, very entertaining individual, has done some great things. Our Mark Rober friend with those boxes that he sends around, the glitter bombs, roach bombs, you name it. Renoya Poison, very interesting young lady, climbing the walls of scam baiting. Rosie E. Yu, very funny individual, always doing very well, pretending to be a victim. I really like her. Scammer Payback, excellent. Scam Baiter, Scammer Revolt, and Trilogy Media. So some of the more advanced guys don't share their name. They go into unanimous names. Certainly they don't want to be attacked back by the scammers. So these are the guys we're going to be pulling up some information for. I'll play a little video from each so you see what they're all about. I would say I do more scam bait watching than TV at this point. It's really a lot of fun. Highly recommend it. Let's move on. Who scams the scammers? Meet the scam baiters. Let's talk about this. Interesting article here. I've shared this in the links below as well. You could take a look at the comments. It was shared earlier. And it talks about the struggles that police is having to catch online fraudsters. It's becoming a serious problem, as we know. It's a problem that is currently taking place, effective in the millions, with a large percentage going after senior citizens, the most vulnerable in this case. The brazen hackers have made complete businesses out of this. They don't care. They think they're, they can't catch them. They're invincible. It's a real problem. So here comes along the scammer baiters, individuals who are experts in their field, who have figured out how to take advantage of the scammer and actually reverse the action that they're doing. I absolutely love it. And it's so entertaining, especially if you know what's going on and you know people have been scammed and you just want it to end. I have not seen another method that is working to expose these data centers other than the work of these scam baiters. Jim Browning, in the alias of a Northern Irish YouTuber with nearly 3.5 million subscribers, who've been posting scam baiting videos for the last 7 years. Right? So he was originally doing this by accident. Browning says he became a YouTuber by complete accident. He originally started uploading his footage so he could send links to the authorities as evidence, but then viewers came flooding in. Unfortunately, YouTube tends to attract a younger audience, and it was really most younger people who saw these videos. He says that only 10% of his audience were over 60 who saw these situations and learned from it. So really the duty comes into the work of us young people to share this information with these older folks and get these seniors going so they don't become victim on a daily basis. Go Jim Browning. I started watching his videos really early. Really blew me away. I really loved what he was doing. I can't tell you enough about the kind of work these folks are doing and the effect that they're having. I don't know anyone else who's having this kind of effect. Potentially the government is writing viruses, or potentially the government is writing code, or they're scanning what's going on there, but not as effective as the scam baiters, right? So how come that's going on? How come the scam baiters have a better handle on this than what's going on? And the reason you know that's going on is because these data centers are actually being exposed and stopped. Okay, granted, maybe law enforcement doesn't want to expose that they have a way to snoop it, but it's happening on such extreme levels. So let's take a look at some of these scam baiters and what they're up to here. I'm going to start with Jim Browning. And the reason I'm starting with Jim Browning is because I consider him the godfather, the grandfather, the sort of originator of scam baiting. Very highly technical, great voice, really entertaining, well-produced videos. Let's go to his YouTube page and see what he's produced with himself. So we'll be pulling up these folks' YouTube pages. Listen to this. All right, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but let me make sure this is going. But either way, this is Jim Browning's website. This is what he's discovered. He's speaking in the background, although I'm not able to pull up the audio. But take a look at what he's doing here. Highly recommend checking out what he's done. One of the leaders in here, he's figured out what these scammers are doing. Take a look at this, right? They're in the data center. He sees them right there. Look, he's literally able to access their cameras. He reversed them trying to scam him. And once he found out the IP addresses, went in and got access to their cameras and started watching them and seeing what they're doing over there. Literally got videos of these guys and what they're doing over there. Really cool stuff. I really like it. Scam buster, scam baiter, call him what you want. Love what he's doing there. All right, let's see if that helped here a little. Okay, very effective individual. He ended up teaming up with a lot of the other folks that are doing this. Really enjoy what he's doing there. Let's take a look at some of the other things he's got going on. Jim Browning, tech support scams 3.9 million subscribers. 7 years he's been doing this now, he's talking about. Very interesting there. Take a look. He's constantly figuring out how to steal the information back. Take a look at some of his videos he's got posted. It describes all of his attacks he's done at the scammers, all the data he's stolen, the method he's gone about it. Very cool videos. Highly recommend checking out Jim Browning. Just an awesome individual who really did a great job, kind of leading the way here. Let's just take a look at his about page. Tracking and identifying scammers who knock my front door, call me, and shove pop-ups on my computer screen, and then he reverses it and takes advantage of the scammer and takes all their info and then deletes it and then reports it to the police. And then the police use whatever means they have to try to arrest, corner, and stop this from happening. While it's in very small cases that it's happening, it's growing, and these scam baiters are the front line. So take a look at our buddy here, a highly effective individual, Jim Browning. So take a look at that guy. I would definitely spend time on his site and take a look at what he's talking about. You'll see links to hundreds of other things there. Let's move on to somebody who's a little bit more entertaining in the field, who's taken it into more of a joking situation instead of this serious scam baiting thing. Kit Boga, okay? Interesting individual, has done some really fun things there. There he is. He wears wigs sometimes. He pretends to be an old woman. He disguises his voice. It's really very funny, actually. Really like this guy. He's done some really funny things, and definitely, without a question, he's the guy I would check out. Really super funny guy. He's teamed up with some of these bigger guys too, which is really cool. So after he teams up with them, they do these massive scam baiting jobs on a much bigger level. Highly like this guy. Really would check him out. Kit Boga. A lot of great videos. Let's see. He's got 2.56 million subscribers, so he's pretty popular. Really, some really funny stuff. He talks about angry scammers. Some of these guys are really funny. They get so mad at him. He messes with them for days and hours and just tortures them and tortures them. They keep it going. They think they've got a victim on his hand. And all he's doing is ultimately wasting their time or going and stealing their data and just screwing with them. You got to figure there's a whole bunch of people in those data centers. So one by one, these guys go in there and just waste their time. Absolutely love it. Go, Kit Boga. Great website. Really check him out. He's really made an icon of himself. He's kind of changed over time. He went from an old lady with a wig to like an old guy. He's got a really cool old man voice. Almost sounds familiar, like an actor. Check him out. Check him out. Really one of the leaders in our little world here. One of my favorite guys, seen quite a bit of it, Mark Rober. Let's pull up his interesting site here. Again, this is Mark's YouTube page. So the Mark Rober. Let's take a look at what we got here for Mark Rober. And he's got 22.2 million subscribers. There he is. Let's see if I can get myself out of the way here so you actually don't see my face and only his. There we go. One moment while I make some... There we go. Take a look at him. What a great guy. Interesting individual. Mark was the one who does these glitter bombs. He's now put a lot of other things into it. If you take a look at exploding glitter bomb trap, so they find out where the scammers are. They say, send us a package with cash. So instead of cash, they send these glitter bombs that literally explode at the hackers, right? Here's one particular one. Let's get through our YouTube ad here for just a moment. And, ooh, yikes. So he's loading that into this box here. That's our glitter bomb machine. Take a look at that. Interesting. Put in a little package. That's the data center. Hey, data center dudes. No, he's not having it today. Yep. Oh, okay. Welcome home. Hope they're tasty. They do say that roaches do have a high protein level. So that's important, I think. And look at that beautiful building. Mark's in his garage. I guess he likes to build too. Ouch! Look at that. That guy's got glitter all over his pants. And the cop's right there. Well, why have glitter on your pants? Well, I guess Mark's in his garage because he does a lot of glitter bomb making, right? So 1, 2, 3. He's talking about how he's delivering and making it all happen. Look at that. Look, the glitter bomb exploded. Cockroaches might look at little mousey. Hi, little mouse. I love it. Highly fun to watch. I highly recommend checking this out. They expose the people who own these places. Take a look at that. Really, really fun stuff there. I love the fact that they sent the glitter bomb and they have access to their videos to see the effect of the glitter bomb is having at that data center and how they're freaking out. Really awesome. Really very good. Kudos. We'll be watching you, and thank you for doing this wonderful work exposing these bad guys and sending them these great glitter bombs. Yeah, you got to check out these glitter bombs. They'll blow you away, you know. So we'll go on to this guy in a moment. All right, let's go on to JBTV. All right, somebody who I've seen recently jump on JBTV. If you take a look, he does some interesting stuff there. Also has 196,000 subscribers, so a little bit smaller than our other friends so far. Take a look at that. What his specialty is quite interesting. He makes an extreme effort to have scammer scam the scammer. So as the scam baiter, our friend here will actually get the scammer on the phone and get another scammer on the phone as they try to scam each other. So that's our friend's specialty at JBTV. I would say he's done a pretty decent job. If you take a look at some of these videos, it's scammers getting the phone like, hello, hello. And sometimes it's even scammers within the same data center scamming each other because he put them on the phone together. Quite effective. He's gotten about 200,000 subscribers with his game. What I like about JB is he's teeing off two scammers at the same time. So while the other guys are getting onesie-twosies, he's getting 2, 3 at the same time, all on a conference call to scam each other. Very nice. Good work, our friend here, trolling Indian scammers. Now, you see the repeating pattern here. We are told by Jim Browning, our leader, in this case that 90+% come out of Indian data call centers that are taking advantage of our senior citizens. Take a look at this guy. Very funny. He's added some cartoons, really knows how to interact with his software and make it really entertaining there. So JBTV, kudos. Like the cartoon, I'm not too much into the cartoon stuff, but I've probably seen several hours of his videos, and he's done a great job getting these guys on the phone with each other. It's just really so silly and funny. Good work, man. Good work. All right, let's go on to Renoa Poison. Sorry about that. Renoa Poison, another interesting scam baiter here on our list of people with 40,000, almost 41,000 subscribers. Basically doing the same thing, getting on the phone, torturing the hackers. She's not doing so much stealing of the data other than wasting their time and making it quite entertaining. Now, how do you know this? Look at this. Some of her views, 36,000 views. I ignore the scammer until he quits. All right. I intimidate scammers to a rage. Now, some of these scammers must be taking this work really seriously because they lose their minds. I don't know how some of these guys literally don't have a heart attack when you hear them like freaking out on the phone, right? It's pretty crazy. So she does a really nice job truly torturing these scammers. Kudos. She's got a good following with that. Take a look. She's got ads, so she's monetized her account. So she's been able to make money with it. There she is. I sent the package of poop to scammer. Congratulations. I'm not sure if that was her own poop in this video, but it was somebody's poop. And she's got really cool guitars behind her. Anyway, so someone to watch. Done a great job taking advantage and doing this. So in this clip, she's pretending to drive to Target to buy the gift cards to pay back to scammer. What had happened in this video, the person from Amazon said, "We owe you a refund." Okay, then. So she said, "Okay, well, how do I get my money back?" Well, the hacker says, "Just let me onto your computer and we'll do the refund together." So they do this thing and they pretend to transfer money through the bank account, and all of a sudden they gave you a huge refund and you owe them money back. Well, that whole thing is a Windows browser trickery that is duping thousands and thousands of seniors weekly that this refund is now owed back. Like in this video, she's now pretending to drive to Target to buy these gift cards to give to the hacker, wasting the hacker's time, right? So the hacker will spend days, hours following the scam baiter who's doing nothing but wasting time, pretending, like in this skit, that they're driving there, right? So you can see, go on. They're just wasting time. I'm giving you the cards. Literally, these scammers lose their freaking minds. Good job. Really proud of the work you're doing. I'm certainly a future subscriber. I watch a lot of videos from her. Anyway, let's go on. I like it when I see more women in technology. It's always been where there's not enough women in technology. Here's a couple of women who are leading the way. Scam baiting is a wonderful profession, and I hope they're both able to monetize their processes to an extreme here. Let's take a look. Here's Rosie. Let me turn off my logo here so we can see all of her. There we go. IRL Rosie, very funny. She does a great job pretending to be a victim, right? So she pretends to be a victim. She also does the conference call thing where she'll get another scammer on the phone, and then she's on the phone with the scammer and the other scammer saying that the other scammer's call baiting me. No, the other scammer's scamming me. Really funny stuff. 1.1 million subscribers. Totally check her out. She's added art and a lot of cool graphics to her page there. Really funny stuff. Totally recommend checking her out. She's does a great job, and she's super funny, and can't say enough about the great work she does. There she is on the phone, pretending to talk to the scammer, and just being really funny. I give her an A+. She really deserves everything there. Great stuff. Really excellent. Definitely need to give her a round of applause on all of that stuff at the great work she's doing. Here, just fumbling with my browser here a moment while I go back to her page. Take a look at her video collection she has made for us with all kinds of really great videos. And you can learn something from it. Pass it to these seniors. Let them show it. Oh, is this silly video of a girl pretending to be a victim? No, this is really happening. Learn from what's going on and how she's reacting, what they're doing, right? Also monetizing her page. Very nice. There she is. Beware of Instagram scam. I don't get hacked. I don't get hacked. So she doesn't get hacked because she's on the other side, helping all of us figure out what's going on. Highly recommend this young lady. Take a look at that. 1.1 million subscribers just on her YouTube page. Let's go on to some of the leaders that I've been following after our Jim Browning friend, who have done some really fabulous things with this. Scammer Payback. Take a look at that. Scammer Payback has a really nice amount of 3.1 million subscribers almost. Extremely funny individual. Now he's able to steal the files and erase them from the hacker. He goes pretty far with what he does. He gets access to their cameras. He gets access to their files. At times shows it to them, freaks them out, and is a really progressive, positive American cyber defense specialist in every way. Kudos, sir. Thank you for your work. You are saving more senior citizens than anyone in the government or AARP, who sometimes don't even get their money back, are scammed, don't even know about it, or have to spend hours, weeks, and months getting out of the mess that they're involved in. Jeez, what a terrible thing. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Scammer Payback, for the work that you're doing here. Take a look at this fabulous individual. That's what he looks like. Again, very, very camera-friendly individual. And look at that, 109,000 folders. Look how many files there are. He's deleting them from the hacker. He gets access to the hacker, to the scammers' data. He takes it from them and deletes it off their own computer, leaves them empty. I love it. I get such satisfaction from watching this. So far, when he hits delete and the scammer is speechless, is better than watching a Hollywood movie for me at this point. It is very satisfying. I love it. He shares the information with us, files, pictures, methods that they're using. Thank you, sir. My hat goes off to you for the fabulous work you're doing for us. Let's go on to another master of the universe here who is helping Americans not steal their money. Scambaiter, okay? Scambaiter has, what are we looking at, 1.5 million subscribers there. Good work, sir. Also, take a look. Scam arrested on their CCTV cameras. This is a joint project of a number of people have gotten together and have done this. They show you what the inside of the scam data centers look like. They tell you the psychology, what's going on there. Well worth interacting and seeing what they're talking about. Literally showing you how the scams take place and what the data centers look like, what they're doing while they're stealing from you. They really go through A through Z through what's going on and break it down in a beautiful way, right? They pretend to be from Geek Squad in this particular video. And take a look at that's what the data center looks like. And that little symbols there is they literally go in there while they're hacking others and scamming others. The scam baiters watching them and recording the whole thing for all of us to see, giving it to the police and giving it to the public to share. Thank you for your fabulous page there. What an incredible scam baiter page there. Highly recommend checking it out. Some really incredible videos. Again, this is, they tell you about the scammers. Monetized page, meaning that there's commercials, which I don't mind. They deserve every penny of it. They're actually saving Americans more than the police at this point. That's what the scam boss looks like. Take a look at that. Our scam baiter has taken charge of the camera and is now watching what the scammers are doing on their desktop and access to their cameras. I love it. Get 'em. Get 'em. Look at that. And that's what these data centers look like. Very interesting stuff, guys. It's a profession over there. And if you remember from earlier, we're nothing but a bunch of overprivileged white dogs sitting here. They're going to get paid no matter what happens. Wherever they got that notion is just incredible. Take a look at this. Thank you for doing this great work here. Highly recommend Scambaiter site. Please check it out. You'll get quite a bit of technical detail about what's going on there. A little bit less joking, more technical detail there, okay? Highly recommend taking a look at that. Let's go on to some guys are funny, some guys are doing it as a serious thing. I like the funny. I like the serious, but once I got through the serious, I was interested in the funny part, right? So let's take a look at our Scammer Revolt. Scammer Revolt. Scamming the scammers. Thank you for doing so. Means a lot to us. So what's going on this page? So these guys are making a mockery of these data centers. They steal their files. They get them on camera. They send them cockroaches and mice and just literally re-victimizing these guys on a grand level. Very happy to see that. Some of these scammers get so freaking angry, they like lose their top, you know what I mean? Like, I can't believe you stole my files, and now you know what's going on here. Take a look. Here he is, literally surfing around in the computer of the hacker, seeing what they're doing there, and then eventually deleting all their files once they've gotten through it. Good work. I love it, you know. And that's really what these guys are doing on a grand scale here. But definitely check it out. Scammerrevolt.com. Very active page. Very funny. You'll get quite a bit out of it. I'm looking for a particular funny video that I saw. But if you see, they're all showing you these scammers that are crying. Yeah, they make these scammers cry. They torture them. They do all kinds of really interesting stuff to just get under their skin, steal their data, and get everything going. Here you see in this video interaction, what's going on with the actual stealing and downloading of the files. So this gets quite technical of how the whole process takes place. There's a way to take a look at it. We're going to end the show in a few minutes with my personal favorite, Trilogy Media. And let's talk about these guys for a moment. Trilogy Media, and the reason I find these guys so highly entertaining, Art and Ashton. It's an interesting American guy and a Russian guy. Apparently they were neighbors, and maybe still are. 717,000 subscribers. I'm surprised they're not in the tens of millions. Very, very funny. And quite serious. They've gotten more advanced. They've hooked up with Mark Rober and Browning and others and are really actively making videos, and it sounds like a documentary about this whole process. Last I heard, these guys were actually in India on the ground doing some really heavy-duty research. A couple of months ago, they found this group of individuals in America who were just mules, receiving these boxes and then forwarding them to India. Very interesting, the mule process that takes place in America. So after the scammer steals the money from the senior citizen and product such as cards or cash is to return, it gets sent to an American address for a mule who washes that and then sends it to the data center, or those crime bosses, if you will. But very funny guys. Highly recommend checking these guys out. Ashton and Art have done a tremendous amount of really funny videos. Let me see if I can. There they are. Okay. Let me back up for just a second. This one, he has to talk to the scammer and mention a movie poster mentioned something off the movie poster that the other guy's putting up every time he makes a comment to the scammer. And he gets a point for every time he does it. Really funny stuff. So notice Braveheart came up. He has to make a reference to Braveheart while on the phone with the scammer. I find that really funny. I've watched all of it. It's highly entertaining. These guys definitely get an A+ for me. I love the fact that they've taken it to a whole nother level, and now they're in the glitter bomb business, and they've teamed up with all these pros and really, really given these scammers a whack. Who else is doing that? These guys are the front line of cybersecurity. Look at these guys, regular guys who put themselves out there, who are exposing these data centers, who are brazen foreigners who could care less about any one of us. They were literally they hate us. They steal from our grandparents and seniors in a brazen, disgusting way. They hate us. They want to steal our money. If you expose them, they curse at you and they want us to die. You think this is hilarious? Well, I'm glad our friends here are at least doing something about it. Maybe the authorities are doing something or scanning, or I don't see it. These scam baiters are more effective putting up pictures and videos of these actual scammers and their faces and what's going on here. It's now our job to tell all these seniors to watch out. This story has not gotten to the seniors. We need AARP. We need large groups to fight this and educate everyone. Look at what these guys are doing. Brilliant. Trilogy Media, I love you. I love you guys. More effective than the police. Look at this beautiful quality video of what these scammers are doing and how they're taking advantage of us. I'm disgusted that it's taking place. Now, some of the justification that I'll go into about VoIP technology on the next show is why this is happening. How are these scammers able to set up a phone number that's untraceable by anyone and do these scams, move money around, completely untraceable? The only effective people is a bunch of guys doing this kind of thing. But really, really love Ashton and Art. Really well-made stuff. There is another quick video, also monetized. Look at the commercial. They deserve every penny. You can also send them money if you want. Of course, you don't have to, and you can still enjoy their videos. But certainly worth a subscription to these guys. There he is. He's a little tired. I think this is one of his early videos from 2017 when he first got started. I wonder if he became friends with his neighbor at that point. But think about it. Since 2017, these scammers have actively been stealing from us. Nothing we can do. Thank you for checking this out with us today. My message is what I've been saying the whole show. Bring these videos out. Tell seniors about it. Talk about it at the dinner table. Realize that the majority of calls you're going to get, or these seniors are getting, are these scam calls. Professional people are handling this in a much different way. Phishing training, scam call training is something we all need to take on and train our seniors that it's taking place. You're going to the park. You happen to see a senior at the supermarket. Bring it up. Start talking to him. Did you know that somebody from, Amazon could call you and it's bogus? I've gotten those calls, or I've never heard of this. The time is now. It's not worth it. It's not cool that these guys from these Indian data centers, these bosses, are making millions of dollars while I'm breaking my butt, while they're stealing money from American seniors. Come on, guys, Thank you for watching the show. Sorry to leave on such a serious note, but wish you guys all a good night.